Hey guys, Joseph here. Now, in this video, I'm gonna be pretty much just talking about basically some maps in Enlisted that just don't they get no love, okay? They don't get much love, so yeah. So basically, these are just the maps which I think deserve more love, more attention, just really more like just attention, really, because you look at some of these maps in Enlisted and most people always go to like, oh, this map's good, this map's bad, For example, in Normandy, can you name some maps off the top of your head? Look at like Airfield, D-Day, you know them as bad. You see Le Brie and Omer, you see them as great. It's stuff like that. What I'm going to do in this video is just look at what I think are the underrated maps and really just say which one, just give these maps a try. Some of these maps are really good. Now, obviously, there's not going to be a single Stalingrad map because I don't like Stalingrad. I also won't be putting Destruction or either Destruction, Assault, or Armoured Train because, but let's face it, Assault and Destruction are just both bad game modes. And Armoured Train, it really depends on what map you're playing. If you're playing on one of either the bridge map or the station map, it's fine. If you're playing on the full uncut Seelow map, it's a bit more divided, so yeah. Anyways, let's start with my first pick. I've got a few picks here, so let's start with my first one. Now, the first one's actually cheating a bit, but it's pretty much the entire Conquest game mode. Now, when you think of Conquest, you usually think of there's two types of maps you think of. You think of the good ones like Kanenka River, Boskovo City, Right Chancellery, and Le Brie. Those are the maps you think of as good. And you also think of the terrible ones. You think of Chateau, you think of Swamps, you think of Fortified District, which aren't good. But there's so much to... And, Monastery as well. Monastery's not the best Conquest map. But there's so many great Conquest maps that just go under the radar. Look at something like Versailles, for example. Versailles is actually a pretty cool Conquest map. You've got a few, pretty much the B point being completely in a city, and, you're fighting through a city with the A and C point being, on the outskirts, gives you some cool, cool fighting and stuff. Coolville Farm is the exact same. It's basically the start of Le Brie. Alhar's pretty cool. Obviously, of course, Boskovo City. Avant-Garde is a very good map. There's a reason why, and obviously Manor. There's a reason why some of these maps are often included when I'm playing custom matches, because they're actually good maps. And yeah, they're Conquest, and yes, of course, we would love to play something like Invasion. Everyone loves to play Invasion. But when you think of, when you think of the best maps in the game, no one thinks Conquest. And you can actually have a lot of fun on maps like Le Brie, on maps like, Avant-Garde's had some incredible moments. I've had some fun moments on Avant-Garde, had some great moments on Le Brie. Coolville Farm can be pretty good at times. Just when you're thinking of Conquest, you really shouldn't be thinking of maps like Swamps or Chateau. Yeah, I know everyone thinks of those maps because they're just the most common maps, but really give a try to something like Coolville Farm. Give something like, Kanenka River, obviously. Kanenka River is fantastic. Is a fantastic map, but yeah, give those maps a try. Give something like Boskovo City, give a map like where is it? Manor is a pretty good one as well. Give those maps a try. And you can have a lot of fun on those maps, which is why I'm saying that it's underrated. It's really chalk and cheese when it comes to the campaigns. When it comes to the campaign maps, you look at the really bad ones. You get D-Day, Airfield, not Le Brie, God no, and Versailles. People see those and they're like, oh, because they're not the best. And then you see stuff like Le Brie, Ruins of Valks, and Omer, and you think, oh, this is epic. Seelow, on the other hand, I don't really think it gets as much love as it deserves. Honestly, I really like Seelow. Now, St. Lo took a while for me to warm to it, because when I started playing St. Lo, I was like, it's fine, I guess. It's average. And I've started to warm up to St. Lo. I really like that third point with the station. That is an awesome. That is so cool. Just jumping into the tunnels and just you have to fight. You fight everywhere. You fight in the tunnels. You fight in the station. You fight, and the stations are. It's really cool. I love defending that point. It's honestly just a really. It's a fun map. It's just a fun map. And the problem is though. Normally it's full of so many good city maps. You've got Ruins, well, for the first 3 points. Omer, Le Brie, they're great close quarter maps. And St. Lo, it's not as close quarters as Omer. Like, Omer is basically house to house fighting. It's basically Berlin. Whereas St. Lo is more or less just... well, it's St. Lo. It's fine. It's a good map. It's a really good map, and I honestly think it should get more love. Like, obviously people do like this map, and I reckon it's still one of my favourite maps. And, yeah, not much to say. It's a good map. Berlin is a really weird campaign, because the maps aren't actually... the maps are either very, really liked, or just kind of reviled. Like... obviously, there's maps like Bramhoff West, obviously assault maps, and of course it's got Armoured Train, which is the most, chalk and cheese game mode out there. But honestly, Ministry Garden kind of falls by the wayside. Now, I really like Ministry Garden. It has honestly 2 of my favourite points in the game, which is the it's got the pretty cool American Embassy point, which is a guarantee, and then you have the Villa, which are both really good points. The problem with Ministry Garden is it just I think after those points it kind of falls a bit flat at times, but it still has some pretty decent moments. It kind of goes from those short range engagements to the long range, kind of like Le Brie in a way, but not as good as Le Brie. When people think of Berlin, they usually think of something like Konix Plaza, or Moat, or Kroll, or, Weinberg, or the station here, or Bramhoff. Not many people think of Ministry Garden, which is sad, because it's a decent map. It's a pretty good map, and I think it deserves more love than it actually doesn't get. Like, especially the first point. The first point is incredible. It's just a frantic kill or be killed in tight spaces. I mean, what's there to hate about that? It's literally the reason why I love Kroll so much. Honestly, Wilhelmstrasse doesn't get much love as well. Like Ministry Garden, it doesn't get much love. Now, it's more in tune. I would say this is probably... this one, along with HGS, are the true, Berlin experience. These are what Berlin's all about. Fighting, in very tight buildings, constantly fighting, these maps, as well as stuff like, the Kroll and Konix Plaza and Moat, they're constantly fighting through cities, going room from room. Honestly, it's a really good map, but you don't see it get much love because, well, again, Berlin doesn't really have much. It's got some great maps, like HGS, obviously, I like that. Kroll, obviously, everyone loves Kroll. And you've got stuff like Konix Plaza and Moat, which give up... and even Station and Bramhoff, which give off a lot of, everyone knows what those maps are. But, again, you ask people, about the maps, and I reckon Wilhelmstrasse is the map everyone forgets. And I think that's sad, because it's not a bad map, actually. It's a pretty cool map. It's got some very cool points. And, yeah, there's a few annoying ones, especially with that garden. But, as well as that, it's like, I'm pretty sure you can end it in, different locations as well. So it's got a load of endings. It's one of the more unique Berlin maps in that regard. Because, you look at something like Bramhoff, you look at something like Moat, Konix Plaza, Ministry Garden. They all end basically the same location, whereas Wilhelmstrasse doesn't. It's a really good map, and I think it's one of the more solid maps in the game. Honestly, Tunisia in general, I think Tunisia in general gets a very bad rap. I'm just gonna throw it again. This whole thing, the whole game, the whole Tunisia again, like I did with Conquest. But I think Tunisia gets a terrible rap, just because people go like, it's not I think the maps in Tunisia are on average the best in the campaigns because there's no bad maps on Tunisia. Each map is a solid, a solid 7 out of 10 map. Some maps do better, like Fortress and Al-Har. Obviously, Al-Har. I haven't even. I think Knife Cave Village. I've not done a map on that yet, but it looked really good, and I've heard some good things about it. I think the only bad map is maybe Oasis, but even then, that's good at times. Gorge is decent. Fortress is good. Al-Har is great. I love Al-Har. I really do like Al-Har. But, yeah, like, Tunisia, I was originally just going to put Al-Har here, but when I thought about it, I just thought, yeah, Tunisia's got some really underrated maps. Honestly, I would say, in terms of invasion maps, this is the most solid invasion map lineup, because look at the other maps, okay? Look at the other campaigns. I'll just go, Berlin, let's start with Berlin. You've got Moat, which isn't that good. You've got Station here, which isn't that good. You've got Bramov, which, of the west side's not that good either. North side's fine. And then you've got stuff like Kroll and HGS and Wilhelmstrasse and Industry Garden, which are pretty cool. Normandy have some basically both sides of the extreme. You've got Airfield, D-Day, Versailles, which are shockingly bad. And then you have maps like Le Brie, Ruins of Arcs, Omer, Saint-Lô. Great maps, which are, great maps and are a lot of fun play. Obviously, Stalingrad's the same map, so no, not really counting that. They're pretty bad. And Normandy and Moscow, again, really depends on the map, You've got Forestry, which is, hit or miss. You've got Fortified District, and same with Birch Grove, hit or miss, depending on if it doesn't break my computer. Fortified District is kind of good until it starts snowing. Actually, it's not even that good. Bellow Lake is fine. Monastery's pretty cool. Quarry is crap. I've not actually played Settlement map, I really want to, because it looks pretty dope. And Vescovo Village is a clusterfuck. Of it's just a clusterfuck. Whereas, look at, can you name anything, like, I know Algebra Farm has that annoying first point with the lavender fields, but when you look at something like, say, Oasis, Fortress, Gorge, Al-Har, they're solid maps. They're incredibly solid maps, and honestly, playing these maps it's pretty cool. Like, some of these maps, like, Al-Har's a lot of fun. I really like playing on Al-Har. Fortress is pretty cool. Gorge is fine, I guess. Yeah, not much to say. It's honestly a lot of fun playing Tunisia. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.